over.
Hey, shout out to Modelo.
Nah, look, we're back from commercial break.
Okay.
We'll get right to it. The difference, right, between the seedings, the standings in the West Coast, from the 3rd seed all the way to the 13th seed, which is the teams that matter, which is where the Lakers are at. They're currently 13th. It is a difference of 7 games. But in that top 10 space, there's a couple of teams that basically mortgage players for picks, future picks, or salary cap issues for whatever the reason. OKC is at 10. They didn't make no moves. Minnesota is at 8. They lost key players, but they got returns for the future. New Orleans is at 7. Their health is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers, they lost their guard play, but they're trying to get Westbrook out the buyout market. We know Phoenix, they're at 5. Dallas is at 4. Who do y'all feel like is going to move up, and how far up can some teams move? And what is the difference? Like Portland is very interesting. They got a lot of young pieces around Dame now.
They just got Cam Reddish from the Knicks.
They're at 12.
Now, I see Portland. Do you know how long Steph is out?
It might be
After the
weeks,
break.
maybe.
So I don't know how long after that.
So I can see out of these that you just said, I can see New Orleans moving down. I can see Minnesota moving down.
Yeah.
I can see the Lakers and Portland moving up. Also, depending on if the guys in Golden State can hold it down, because they were saying that the Wiseman trade is not final because
Gary
Payton didn't. Gary Payton
He came back. Yeah.
He didn't pass the physical.
Yeah.
So Wiseman might be coming back, and
what does that do for the team in the locker room as well? We had a crazy thing in the offseason with Draymond and Poole. Now you get rid of me, but you bring me back. How do I feel around you guys now? He's young, so I can see if he was a veteran, he'd be like, I understand.
Who Wiseman?
Yeah.
I mean, he got to understand this is a business.
Yes.
He can't take it personal.
That's right.
Well, he's young.
It's a business.
You
can't take it personal.
How do you think though his teammates are gonna feel? Is it gonna be awkward? Is it gonna be whatever?
I'm sure it'll be awkward.
These are dynamics that I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference.
Yeah,
in the
because
locker room,
the Warriors.
But it'll be weird even if you try to put him in the rotation. Then
I mean, the Warriors, outside of the whole situation with Poole and Draymond, the Warriors are a pretty much tight knit group. Like their culture, you come in is basically the Warriors way.
The reason why I ask is because remember years ago when they tried to move Bynum, but they couldn't move him, and then he decided that he just was gonna sit. Then he finally moved him, and then he hurts himself bowling or whatever. And he was young. He's a young big man at the time too.
Well, Wiseman, what's best for Wiseman right now, in my opinion, is for him to just ball out. You was the second overall pick.
Yeah.
They use that pick on you. Ball out. That's it. You ball out. There's nothing nobody can say. You're either gonna stay with the Warriors or you're gonna go to another team.
Either way, they're gonna try to move him anyway.
Yeah. So
right. That's what I was gonna get to there.
Yeah. So regardless of whatever they try to do, whether you're in the Warriors plans or not, just ball out. That's it.
Yeah. So you can help
Simple
your
as
stock.
Yeah, exactly. Help your stock. Go somewhere where they value you, because obviously it's not working out in Golden State. So go somewhere, ball out for the rest of the year. They're gonna trade you. If you ball out, you can legit, kind of say, well, I kind of helped us out. So can you help me out and send me somewhere where I want to go?
And see, that's what I say about with NBA, NFL. When you get to that, when you know there's a possibility you're going to be trading. If your name's not top tier and you're not performing, as a possibility you're going to get moved. That doesn't take away from your talent. It just may not be what's needed with that team at this moment. So it's like you said, man, look, instead of complaining about it and feeling bad about it, having feelings, just ball
out.
So the next team that can get you, you may get that payday or you may get that respect you deserve, but you got to play.
Just because it doesn't work out with the Warriors doesn't mean that you can't have a long-lasting career in the league.
Right.
So I agree with you. You just got to ball out. It's plain and simple.
Keep playing.
You take your emotions out of it because you got to remember this is a business. At the end of the day, the Warriors are in the best interest of winning, and as you can see, you won a championship with the team you didn't even really contribute.
A good example of that is Chris Middleton. Playing in the G League.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, why sit and soak in your tears? When you can get the opportunity to be that number 2 guy, based off of your talent and your play. So I'm like, yeah, I understand you got feelings about it, coming back to a team that got rid of you, but you coming in the door, it's not like you don't know this is a business.
yeah,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So having a relationship with the team, or go ahead and getting that big crib sitting in that in that city, unless you top tier, you gonna move.
Now, Nam, I want to ask you. Sacramento is 3rd, Dallas is 4th. With the addition of Kyrie, do you see Sacramento keeping that 3rd slot, or do you see Dallas moving up? Because right now, if the playoffs was to start right now as we speak, Dallas and Phoenix would play in the first round, and that would be a great first round series. Kyrie versus Kevin Durant.
Hey, this is the NBA.
And Luka and Booker.
Oh, the storylines on that.
This is the
Yeah.
NBA.
I mean,
possible.
I think Phoenix moves up as high as 3, and I think we'll get Sacramento and Dallas 4 and 5.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas moves up.
You sure?
I don't.
Shout out to Sacramento. They low key been under the radar. They've been balling this year.
Because we got to think about Dallas. Dallas gave up so much depth.
Yeah.
So now you're asking 30 and 30 or 28 and 28 and 30. At least one of those guys will have 30. But then you're asking the other guy to come very close to 30 as well.
And defend.
Well, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So these games are going to be high scoring, and God forbid they're up one and the other team has the ball last, because they'll probably lose. They can't stop you.
You know what's crazy? I'm just looking at the standings. It seems like all the moves were made out west.
Yeah. That was going to be my next question.
My fault. I didn't mean to step on you. Go ahead.
But to round us out, like, I think the Lakers move up maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah, they get in.
They're not cracking top 5.
Had they have made these moves earlier?
Earlier, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
They would have been.
They had to have continuity. Now
Yeah.
they're saying LeBron has a nagging leg injury or foot
Yeah.
injury, and then street clothes,
You hear that,
whatever.
right?
Well, he has
But-
an injury?
Yeah, he had a foot injury.
I didn't know LeBron had an injury.
He had an injury for the last couple.
Not Mr. iRobot.
And the Warriors are gonna pick it up. Their championship pedigree will kick in.
Yeah.
They're not gonna stay at 9. New Orleans, if they can stay healthy, they'll be there. But I think we have to watch Portland, because Dame always has something to say.
Yeah.
Warriors are going to be iffy. Curry's been hurt twice this year already.
Yeah.
So it's going to be. It all depends on whether the injury is going to nag him. You know what I'm saying? Because a champion's pedigree is to push it.
Yeah, but they're at 9 right now.
Right.
I think they'll get as high as 6 or 7, somewhere in that range. They'll pick it up. They'll pick up the pace somewhere. But yeah, I mean, it's not much.
I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of movement.
It's gonna be very, very
except
few.
for the bottom tier, maybe.
Yeah. Bottom 6. That's
Yeah.
when we'll see a lot of the movements.
Yeah.
Bottom 6 to 10 in that play in range.
Right.
So
right.
now, can you tell us about the East and like the seedings and everything?
Nah, but it's just very simple on what I was gonna get to. The East is like, it's a 2-team race, realistically,
Okay.
which is Boston and Milwaukee. Milwaukee added Jay Crowder as well. That's big.
Okay,
for
that
them.
was a good pickup.
Philly's at 3, Cleveland is at 4, and everything after that is just Brooklyn, Miami, the Knicks, Atlanta. Atlanta might move up
Now I got a question
to
real
where
quick.
Brooklyn is at 5. That's it.
You think Atlanta's? I was gonna say honestly, between the Heat and the Knicks, I think the Knicks can catch up to Brooklyn. Because I mean, between I really, for some reason the Hawks, Atlanta, just everything about Atlanta, the Hawks, I don't know why they've been clicking. I don't know why you have pretty much the same squad. You add DeJounte Murray, and it's like he got worse.
Well, a lot of talks was surrounding around Collins, man, being moved and doing this and that, and those things play a factor in guys' heads, man.
I think they went away from
And Hunter.
the way they were playing pre DeJounte Murray coming was, wow, that's crazy. Was like a team oriented type of thing.
Yeah.
But now it's like we have a Batman and a Robin, but you don't have a Batman and Robin. You just have two quality guys,
Yeah.
as opposed to you got two elite. They're all stars, but they're
Mhm.
not Batman Robin quality all stars. Just play with the team aspect and get everybody else involved. A lot of times it's my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. Even though Murray plays well on the defensive end, but they just got to get everybody else involved. Like Hunter. Hunter was involved a lot last year or the previous 2 years.
Yeah.
So they went away from their identity.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? I think people don't really understand that when you add another good player to an already good player, especially when they're young, it's hard for them to decipher, and be able to work together. Compared to someone like Kevin Durant, you put him on that team in Phoenix. Kevin Durant is a veteran, so he can say, you know what, I know this is Booker's team, but I can get mine whenever I want to. So I think in the case with Murray and Trae Young, even though it's Trae Young's team, he's been there for a couple of years, I don't think they really understand how to win. Yeah, exactly. Murray although he came from Pop, they've been losing the last couple of years. And then Trae Young has had minor, little success, but they're not winners.
Yeah, they've never won in the NBA in a sense of knowing what it takes to put the team together and create runs and so on and so forth.
Well,
but I know one thing for sure. The Knicks is going to be in the top 5.
Thanks overall.
Top 4.
So the KD situation with Booker them, then that's the headline right there. That's the 1-2 punch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah,
You start talking about the Knicks.
Listen,
now.
because we won. We only added one piece, which was Josh Hart. Him and
Y'all
Brooks.
lost Cam though.
We lost Cam, but I mean Tibbs wasn't playing.
What school he go to?
Cam?
Yeah.
He went to some school in Raleigh.
Duke Medical.
Raleigh University. Durham University.
Underdog, I need that on a T-shirt. What school did he go to?
But as far as and this is not just being a Knicks fan, we're middle of the pack.
But you guys can move up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of spaces because Miami, I don't know what we got going on over there.
And then we only 2 games behind the Brooklyn.
Yo, you know what's wild? I read this thing last night too. Miami had a chance to move Kyle Lowry, and they had the deal finalized, but they couldn't reach Pat Riley because he was sleeping, and they missed the deadline.
And now Kyle Lowry's hurt again?
Yes.
So
the man was sleeping on the job.
Yo, Pat, man, get your old ass up, man.
Slept on it. Missed the deadline.
Yo, you
Wow.
talk about malpractice.
Wow, bro. Age is catching up to him, bro.
But who's gonna say something to him though?
Nobody.
Yo.
Nobody.
Shaq said something to him, and he was out. He moved out the next day.
Talk about. I
Sent him
read
to
something.
Phoenix.
I read something about that. Pat really fell asleep during the train.
Yeah. You know, the deadline is 3 p.m. That man took a daytime nap and woke up at 7. Like, yeah.
Yo, you say he woke up. He's like, damn, I got a bunch of missed calls. Yo.
I hope everybody's all right. He fell asleep on the trade deadline, bro. He was supposed to move him.
Oh.
So that already lets you know where our season is going.
But Miami should at least be a top 3 seed though, because they got the same team basically for the last 2 years.
Yeah, now we're interested in the buyout market and trying to get Russ. Russ is not going to help. Oh my God, that's
Him and Jimmy Butler on the same.
That's why
you know they're gonna bump heads.
and Bam, it's going to be a disaster.
Yo,
Yeah.
Bam, I'm looking. Yo, Bam, you messed up my parlay last night.
But he doing his thing though.
He
Yeah,
ain't do it
phenomenal.
last night. He messed up my goddamn parlay.
Hey man, look, It happens, yo.
Man, you were so clutch for me last year, double in the win. That's all I was asking for, bro. You couldn't even do that last night. But yeah, so in the East, it really wasn't that much movement. Most of the trades was out west.
Yeah, we're just looking at the top four. Anybody who comes out of there is gonna be out the top four.
You pretty much
Probably
already
the
know
top
who's coming out of
two.
the East already. You mean,
Yeah, the
you mean,
Knicks.
It's either the Knicks or not the Knicks. Either Milwaukee.
You fed into it. You fed into it.
Either Milwaukee or Boston.
Milwaukee's
Yeah.
on a 10-game win streak.
Quietly.
Quietly,
Yeah.
10-game win streak.
Yeah.
But this guy has put up 40, 50, 30, crazy numbers.
Yeah.
And what's up with Jason Tatum, man, hitting his teammate with the people's elbow?
Yeah, I seen he said he's gonna have to like buy him a car or something like that.
Listen, I'm just saying.
They just
if
got
you-
paid too
if,
anyway.
If you guys want to, have any, I like a new car too. If you guys, feel, generous like that.
Yeah, I'll take you right down to O'Reilly's, bro, and get you a nice little toy car over there.
Imagine getting hit with an elbow, and your teammate bless you with a car. That's a different type
I
of.
mean,
And-
only
and-
because he just got paid.
But they were rolling too.
Yeah, they were. That's what I'm saying.
Rolling, clicking.
Boston is still, man, that young 1-2 combo.
Yeah, and then you got Brogdon who controls the tempo, which is what they were missing.
I like his demeanor too. He nothing phases him.
Who Brogdon?
Yeah.
That's a vet.
The only thing I'll highlight about Boston is though they don't have any low post presence. Everything is
Perimeter.
gun. We're just gunning threes, and if it's not that, it's downhill pick and roll. But no like playoff type of guy that can, if you want to slow it down, dump it inside or whatever. It's not happening. Because
I mean,
Al Horford is not that guy
The
anymore.
closest thing you got to
Right.
is Robert Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, when is he back? He was out with the
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
knee
been
or
playing. Yeah,
Achilles.
he's been playing. He's already back from that.
That's
from that
that
injury.
might be the X factor then
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
Remember, he had a torn meniscus last
But
year.
see, that's another AD right now. You
Yeah.
know, if he's
Yeah.
not if he's not in there, that's
Because
that's
if
one major factor.
if they're hitting, they're on. It's hard to beat them. But if you're gonna have slow nights or slow quarters or slow runs, you got to be able to get guaranteed points, and you don't have that low post presence.
Milwaukee could easily come out of there.
Giannis is
again.
gonna Euro step you to death all day.
Yeah, and
All
give
day.
that ugly 3-pointer he shoots.
Yeah.
I know this is still basketball, but it's off topic. Do you know LeBron's averaging 30 points a game in season 20?
Where's my paperwork? Because I thought we left him
I'm just saying.
like in the on the
look,
other segment.
he's averaging 30 points a game as in year 20.
Right.
38.
Well, no, 38 since he turned 38 or 39.
No, I'm saying he's 38 years
Oh,
old.
38, yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
But he's averaging 30 points a game. Top 10. Wow.
I tell you, hey LeBron James, if you ain't got no other fans, you sure got them over here and these two,
Look,
especially to the right.
I have a question though.
He's shooting over 50% on the field.
Now that Kevin Durant is in Phoenix,
Does anybody realize, just before you say that, does anybody realize that the 3-second rule was implemented in 2001, which makes it easier for you to score in the paint?
I didn't even know that rule.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Go
Well,
ahead and ask your question.
This how far they go into creating.
I'm just sitting there saying, in 2001, you know what I'm saying? Which makes it's open the paint up for easier scoring. So go ahead on with your question.
Gotcha.
All right.
Check it out. We're gonna refocus real quick. Kevin Durant, alpha, elite, star, whatever. Batman, always been Batman. He goes to Phoenix. Whose team is it? Is this LeBron, Wade 2.0, or is it him and Steph? He's the best player, but Steph is the most important because he opens the floor up.
I think Kevin Durant will still let Devin Booker have the floor, even though it's like you said, he can score at will when he need to.
Right.
I still think he still lets it be Booker's team.
So it's him and Steph 2.0 as opposed to LeBron Wade 2.0.
Right. I think so. I think so.
Because when it comes down to who's going to take that game-winning shot, obviously Chris Paul is just going to put them in the best position.
And neither one can make it.
Yeah, either one will do whatever they need to do because they're the same player, just
Taller.
7 foot, 6'8", whatever. Devin
Light skin,
Booker
dark
is.
skin.
But who would you want to take? Well, I need to ask you because you're gonna say. But who would you want to?
No, I was gonna say Kevin Durant
Oh,
to
okay.
take the last shot.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought.
I mean, outside of LeBron, Kevin Durant.
So who would you want to take the last shot?
If it's the clock is running, Kevin Durant.
Right.
But if it's like catch and shoot,
Right.
Devin.
Either one could do that.
Devin.
Either one could do.
I would go Kevin Durant or Chris Paul.
No. But you know what's interesting too?
Chris Paul is clutch too.
Yeah.
Chris Paul will probably look better now in this second half of the year than he did that championship run. Because you're asking him to just play point guard.
Well, his assists going to go up.
You don't have to do anything.
Now,
Anything.
There's two ways that this could go. This is obvious. They can either look good from the start, or it might take them a little while to adjust and gel and everything.
Do you now? I got a question for you both, you two guys. Now it's the halfway of the season,
Okay.
right? Say it doesn't work. Say it's some problems. Do you give a pass on that?
Nope.
No.
You don't give a pass on that?
Nope.
No.
You don't give a pass?
It's too talented of a team. Plus, remember, they got T.J. Warren as well. T.J. Warren was playing phenomenal in the bubble till he got hurt.
Let me ask you this real quick.
They were able to retain Aiden.
Real quick. And before you finish, Nam said it best. Chris Paul, they didn't have. Now, when Miami had they had Mario Chalmers. They didn't have a Chris Paul.
But I'm saying, though, you still had 3 Hall of Famers on the team in Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, and they didn't do it the first time. And the excuse was
they just picked up Terrence Ross in the buyout market.
Yeah.
But the excuse was,
they
the
didn't
guys need to gel together.
They didn't have that. Chris Paul can calm everything down. He's the point guard for a reason.
The only issue
is LeBron James. He's not he's not a leader now.
No, he's the all-time leading scorer.
Dwayne Wade was not the leader now.
LeBron
but
played.
They're not Chris Paul.
LeBron played forward and point.
Yeah,
in that
you have
space.
you have a strictly
you have designated guys for their designated positions.
The excuses.
So all right, real quick, let me ask you: if you put Magic on that team instead of Chris Bosh, you don't think they would have won because they had a legit point guard?
I'm saying, but that's also a legit leader too. So what I'm sitting here saying is, you get a whole year of 82 games compared to a half of a season, and you're going to say, "Oh, this ain't going to work."
But listen, in that 82 space, you're trying to determine whose team is it and who's outright playing what position.
That's a whole year.
But in this instant, you have a guy that's truly a point guard.
Okay.
A guy who's truly a 3. And a guy who's truly a 2.
A 2, exactly.
And then you have a guy who's truly a 5.
And that doesn't mean
so you don't have to shuffle any positions and be like, oh, we need you to be this, or we need you to morph into this.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
That's the big difference. That's why I asked, whose team is it? Because that's the only question that's on the table. Whose team is it?
Guys still have to know guys' intentions.
Whose team?
KD has not played with them.
Absolutely.
So you still have to know guys' movements, where they're going to be. All these things still have to play a factor, no matter how good you are.
But
that's what
a point guard. That's what a point guard is for.
But we're not asking Kevin Durant to play point.
Exactly. We asked LeBron to play point, and he has to be the best player on the team.
You always mentioning LeBron
because you brought up the comparison.
I didn't bring up the comparison. You said Chalmers in the Heat, and I didn't say anything about that yet. You had already cut me off, and then went to that
because I knew that's where you was going. They had Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers. If they would have had Chris Paul, they would have won that first championship.
So you're saying that if it bombs, it's all because of Chris Paul. It doesn't work.
No, if it bombs, it's just because they didn't have enough time to truly gel.
That's what I was saying.
Click. But as far as clicking, we're not asking them to do anything more than just be themselves.
Exactly.
But in Miami, remember, they even asked LeBron to even play forward because LeBron bulked up and he was playing the 4 position a lot.
It's championship
because they decided to move Bosh to the 5.
Yeah.
Bosh is not a 5; he's a 4.
Everybody was playing out of position in Miami.
That's where the positionless basketball came from. You got 2 guys in Norris Cole and Chalmers getting significant minutes, and they're both maybe 6 foot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but over here, you got guys who are just asked to play their own positions, truly play their own positions. And the only issue that you ask is, whose team is it? That's it.
I ain't buying it. But, hey, look.
You're well coached. You're well coached with Monty Williams, who's been to the finals before as well.
Well, by them getting KD, it's championship or bust, the way they got it.
Oh, I agree.
I agree with that. That's why I said.
I agree.
When you asked the question, I said, everybody outside, Matter of fact, that whole starting five been to the championship. So it's no excuse.
Except T.J. Warren.
Well, yeah, he's gonna. Is he starting?
He's got to start. Who's
Okay,
gonna start?
everybody on that squad except for T.J. Warren is a champion, right? Now, mind you, and this is not an excuse, but that Miami Heat team was put together. Kevin Durant is one piece that's going to a team.
Yeah.
Chris Bosh came over to Miami. Also, LeBron James came over to Miami. It wasn't like it was Dwayne Wade, the point guard,
They added Norris Cole for the draft.
that was a whole
Mike Miller
new
came
team.
over there.
I just don't think it's a
Antoine.
disaster if they don't win it.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not saying it's a disaster. We're saying that, or at least I'm saying that.
Yeah.
It's a little easier for them to find their rhythm, as opposed to like what we seen in Brooklyn.
What was that a disaster in Brooklyn?
Absolutely.
Disaster? Oh, Brooklyn was.
So okay, now let me ask you this, because we short on time. We'll give them a pass this year. Next year, is it any excuses?
No.
Outside of injury.
Right.
Is it-
Availability is
yeah.
important.
Well, yeah, I don't never include injuries.
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
all healthy, 82. They don't win the championship. It's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
Yeah.
It is.
And does that
It's a
hurt?
bust.
Does
Not
that
a
hurt?
It depends. It's a bust.
Does that hurt Kevin Durant's legacy if they? Well, I don't want to go too far, and let's just focus on this year. Let's focus because I don't want to go too far.
I just think it's just if a half a season, and say they make it to the finals, but they lose.
I give you that.
I don't now.
That's fine.
Granted, they'll probably look at it and say, "Well, they made it last year without you."
Yeah.
And they're gonna look at it and say, "Well, now you got to have it." I don't agree with it. I'm like, if they get a whole season, and then they flop,
Now
then that's a problem.
I give you that. If they can make it to the finals, that's it for me. That's all
That's
I
good
need
enough.
to see. That's
Right,
good enough.
right.
There is, and you know what? Since you put it like that, I agree with you. You know,
Yeah.
we don't agree on a lot, but I agree
Yeah,
with you on
if,
that.
Right.
if they make it to the finals, it's fine. Now, if they get bounced in the first round, yeah, we got to scratch our head a little bit. But at the same time, we also give them grace and say, well, you guys didn't have enough time to gel.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But it's okay.
But a whole season, and you
Nothing.
don't get to the finals.
No
No
mercy.
Yeah.
No
No
mercy.
excuses.
Nah.
mercy.
And you know what else is not an excuse? That we about to wrap up episode 43. Any final thoughts?
Excellent episode, man. Just once again, I just want to give LeBron James a shout out for getting the scoring record, and
Do I got to do it again? Hold on. Go ahead.
but nah, shout out for passing that. Passing Kareem on that. You will hold that for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? But Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
I don't got nothing to say, man.
All right,
Gonna
it's your-
wrap it up, bro.
It's your boy T,
It's your man TJ.
It's your boy now.
and we out.